All right, so the first question was, how would you reintroduce vertical articulation and the concept of PLCs? I guess after they had such a bad experience 3 years ago. The main thing I thought for this one was that they really just need to reteach the whole concept of it, because they never got started on a good note with it, so they're always going to be against it. So I think reteaching it, like how to collaborate and like in a trusting atmosphere, allowing enough time for it to where they don't feel like they have to stay after school necessarily. Like we have it during planning. So we have two plannings like back to back, 2 45-minute periods. So we have a 90-minute PLC block, which is nice. We don't have to stay after school and worry about it. I don't know if you guys use like other staff members, like not just teacher PLCs and teacher planning things, but like our guidance counselor comes and our Title I teacher comes, and we even have like people from the county that come to, you know, the math coach comes to like our math PLCs, and the science coaches come to our science PLC, and our curriculum coach is always there too to like help out. Even like outside perspective too. You needed somebody to come in and tell their experiences with it, because if they got off on a bad note, they need to change their view. The view is what needs to be changed. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think definitely need to restructure how they're doing the PLCs, and definitely have them create a vision in their PLC that's kind of aligned to all like break out in PLCs, and not have one huge PLC as the whole school, but have them all maybe aligned to the same vision and goals. And in that way they can be working towards the same thing and not just each one doing something different, I think. But like you said, definitely some professional development needed to reintroduce PLCs and their meaning and purpose would definitely be needed.
Yeah, along the same lines with the PLC, I think our SLT team, like our school leadership team, as far as like we pull from each one of the grade levels and administration and specials, and TA even has a representative, like our TAs. So we kind of get an insight on what the issues are, what strategies we would go about, and then we go ahead and make PLCs based off that information. So like it said in the scenario, school-wide PLC, I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. You obviously got to identify what you're trying to fix and how you're going to fix it. You can't do it with a million people. You got to, pick and choose people that are best for that specific PLC or strategy you're trying to implement. As far as vertical articulation, this actually kind of fit with my school because we're introducing, have you guys heard of UBD? So it's called Understanding by Design, and it's basically like idea of working backwards. We're like 3 years into it. It takes a while to like district-wide implement it, but basically in the summers, teams meet, like middle school, elementary, high school, like would meet about science. Like the science team would meet, and they like establish a curriculum, and then it's put onto a website. So basically when it's all done, K through 12, you kind of have like a guideline of the curriculum and the standards and how it's addressed, and you can go in and you can see it. So like if I'm teaching 4th grade and I want to know what they need to know for 5th grade, I can see like what they're going to be teaching them and how I need to like kind of get them ready. It's just a way to see like where you want them to be in 12th grade when they graduate, that whole thing. I think it's helpful. Like we're doing specials right now. So I just met for like PE, and like all the PE teachers from our district meet. And we had to like come up with the goals and objectives that we want them to achieve when they leave high school. So like, what do I have to be doing in elementary to help towards that goal when they leave high school, kind of. I think that applied to this scenario pretty well.
That's interesting.
And
I think it's also, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say at the school I was at, as far as the vertical articulation we had a day each half of the year where all content area teachers, all grade levels, 6th, 7th, and 8th, would get together and meet and talk about, the standards that needed to be covered. The vertical articulation definitely came up, and what 7th grade needed to be prepared for 8th grade and so on. And I think that would be, something that a lot of schools could implement. That way they can get all grade levels together in that content area and discuss what, areas they need to be working on or whatever.
I think that goes along with like having like a math team and a science team where each one has a representative from each grade level. I'm only at a 2 grade level school, but we meet with the district, and I meet with like 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, and 7th grade and collab with them. But I think that would make sense if you were at a bigger school to have like the math team and the science team so you could all talk about the standards that are.
Yeah.
And with our new math program, all of them are accessible. Like you can go look at all of the 4th grade math content and pull up all of their lessons and everything. If you need to go back and reteach a 4th grade lesson and that kind of thing. Same with like 6th grade. I can go look at a 6th grade lesson and see like, okay, well, this is how they're going to do this. So I need to make sure I teach them this strategy. So I guess it's good that they've implemented that to be able to look into the future and even go back for kids who miss it.
I think for like new teachers too, that's really helpful. Like somebody coming in out of district, they kind of know the way things are done and what you're trying to do. So they don't have like, they're not coming in with a blank slate. They kind of have an idea of what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Everybody just freeze. Can you hear me?
You're frozen.
You froze a little bit.
I'm frozen.
There you go. You're good now.
You're good.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah, most part. You were just saying, with the new teacher and them coming in not knowing the district and everything, and that would be helpful for them too, which, that's accurate. And that would be one support that a new teacher definitely needs.
Last year, and they like teachers who teach inclusion math with the lower babies, it's really helpful to be able to go back and look at the 4th grade standards of the lessons they may have missed. The reasons they're not getting these 5th grade standards is because they don't have a background, so you can go back and reteach those 4th grade lessons, 3rd grade lessons. Like that was so helpful for me last year to be able to go back and look at the curriculum that they obviously had missed before, that they weren't on grade level. So I think that's helpful for teachers too.
I agree. And looking at like what teachers, like in a grade level, like 4th grade, why is a certain teacher testing out higher? Like why are their students performing better? Like what are you doing differently than another teacher that's not testing out as well? Is there something that you can do to kind of get on the same level?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Because we have classrooms where obviously there's teachers that have been there forever and they're testing out a whole lot higher with their students than newer teachers that might not know exactly what they need to be teaching.
Right.
Yeah, I think it goes back to all that collaboration stuff too.
Yep.
Which is kind of like the next question. How do you encourage teachers to work together with one shared vision for the school? Our school vision was like decided upon as a whole group. Like at the beginning of the year, we talk about that and everybody gives their input and then we all come to a consensus on something that we all feel is important to us. I don't know how you guys do your school visions.
We did ours. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Ours is more like administrative. They kind of made the decision with that. I think they gave us some kind of input. I mean, I've only been at my school for 2 years, but I mean, they gave us a little bit of say in like as far as like voicing our opinions, but I kind of felt like the administrative team basically took over on that and made it what they wanted it to be, which might be something we could work on.
At our school, we, at the beginning of the year, wrote down some things that we would like to see happen or achieved at the school. And they took all of those, kind of broke them down, compiled them, and saw what were similar, and then tried to get as most of those as they can in our vision to hit on all of those things that we had the shared vision in already. And that's where we created our vision. So that was and I think too, it goes back to a little bit of empowerment, giving teachers empowerment that would help them to share into that vision and have them more involved and want to do more, where they get that little bit of empowerment.
Yeah, because you want them to buy into it and support it and then take it back to their classrooms. I think maybe we decide together because there's only 9 teachers in the school.
A little different, yeah. I mean, for a certain extent, when you have a big school, you can't have everyone's opinion matter because there's just too many people for it to all connect, honestly. I mean, my principal goes by the 3 C's: collaboration, connection, and commitment. Those are her big 3. Basically, once you trust somebody, in my opinion, like for administration, if I trust them and they've like built a connection with me, then I'm going to be able to get behind them a lot easier than if I kind of don't be hiding in their room and they're not really seen a lot. But those are the kind of people that I just don't trust as much, and I might not believe in what they're selling.
Yeah. Sure.
So how do you ensure that positive changes your school makes are sustained after you are gone? I think, again, like buying into the vision that you all have, you want everybody to be a part of it and nobody to disagree or want it to be something different. I also really like long-term goal setting, stuff that can be implemented in a year, but takes, 3 or 4 years to implement. We're implementing the Leader in Me, but it takes 3 years to implement fully. But everybody had to buy into it before we were able to do it, because it really takes everyone to do it. So if you've got something like that and everybody really liked it and saw how beneficial it was, then they're going to want to continue that even if you're not there anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you have to set goals so that after you achieve it, you have the next thing that's already ready to go, kind of so once you hit that point, your growth is ready for the next thing. Not just having, okay, when we get to this point, we've done it. It's what's coming next after that kind of thing. So after you leave, they can kind of pick up where you left off. That being said, to me, question 3, no matter what, it's going to rely on the next person coming in. If they really don't want to do exactly the way you've done it, you can't really control them changing things to a certain extent. You just have to put good plans in place and hope that they trust it.
And if you have that's bought into the collaboration and PLC anyway, then they're probably going to continue it whether you're there or not. I mean, if they're really bought into it like they should be. So that would definitely help. But like you said, you can't control what happens once you leave it anyway. I mean,
they're seeing growth and they're seeing that it's beneficial, then they're going to want to continue it, because it said, I mean, if you definitely see changes in collaboration and analyzing that data and stuff, if you do it correctly and you really want to see the changes, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, my principal's been there for 3 years. I've only been there 2. And so she has a pretty good insight into this question, because when she got there were some things she liked, some things she didn't. So obviously she kept the things she liked and then kind of modified or just slightly tweaked the things she didn't, so that she didn't completely abandon. If you tell your staff, no, we're stopping this, we're completely changing it, that might be kind of a shell shock for them. So you got to kind of find a way to gradually kind of change the way things are going rather than just throw it all at them at once.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we hit them all.
I think so.
All right, I had a question for you, Brooke. When did you submit your final artifact, your APSL artifact? How long did it take to get graded?
Dr. Neal, or on task stream?
On task stream.
I got it back the same day. I think I submitted it Tuesday morning, and I had papers on there Tuesday afternoon.
I guess I'm wondering if I did it wrong because it's been on there for 5 days. I submitted it a while ago. You're putting it on you click on the first link. I don't know how to describe it. You click on the MELS thing and then go to the APSL and submitted it right there, right?
And you did submit it twice because you have to save it and then you have to hit the orange button up top.
Yeah, I saved it, submitted it, and then I even clicked request comments because I just clicked all the buttons.
I don't know. Because, see, who's grading it on TaskStream?
It's supposedly some evaluator. I don't know who that
Yeah.
is.
But do
It's
we
the
all have the
evaluator.
same one, or it's different people?
I have no idea.
People, I'm not sure.
When you click submit, like it brought that drop down menu of like who, like clicking on like who you're submitting it to. Did you do that? Did you not click anybody?
I didn't click anybody.
That might have been on request comments. I think you do that on request comments. So
I
you
didn't
won't.
request comments, but I had saw where it said that you had to choose like your clinical supervisor or something for something else, but I didn't have a drop down menu. to
See, I
submit.
might-
For the comments, you choose your clinical person, your clinical coach. I think that's what it said in that one video.
Right. I mean, no, you're right. But you don't, for the APSL, the clinical coach isn't grading that.
No.
So the evaluator is grading that. They're just grading the competency and disposition part.
I can look at mine.
I just wonder because I know I emailed her today. It's been 5 days, so I know I did something wrong. I just don't know what. It says it's submitted, and I can't access it.
Who did you email to ask about it?
My clinical coach.
Because I emailed mine too, and she said that they had no control, like they weren't doing any of that at all. Like she said she didn't even think she could see mine. But mine came back the same day, like my scores or whatever. Because I thought she's who was grading it. I didn't realize it was somebody random.
No, see, I knew she wasn't grading it, but I figured I'm still submitting it. This like you submit the competency and the disposition analysis right below that. Like it's all in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so AA, PSL, and then I just went, mine says status evaluated, but I just attached the files and then submitted it because I have the button where it says request comments, but I didn't click it.
Okay. But what I'm saying is I clicked them both, so I don't think it should matter. I think I might just email Dr. Neal too then to be safe. I don't know.
And just
I
let
just submitted mine this morning, so I haven't.
Okay. I mean, technically it's supposed to be on TaskStream tomorrow.
Yeah.
It says on there it doesn't really matter if it's not because it's not your fault the evaluator doesn't get it done, but I'm just wondering. It's been 5 days, so I figured I did it wrong. I don't know.
because they grade you on TaskStream, and then you have to take the
Right.
screenshots of it and send them to him because I sent them to him too already.
Yeah, I can't do it because I don't have it graded, so I can't send it.
That's
Right.
weird. When did you submit it? Do you know?
Monday?
And mine was after that.
Mm.
I think
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I did something wrong, so I got to figure out what. Because it's up there. It says submitted. Like, it's locked. The thing is locked. Like, I can't even, like, I can cancel it, but I can't change it.
I mean, I just put all of them together, like on the one that he graded for us, and then I put all of the peer reviews and his evaluation in another document and submitted them.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I put the whole artifact in one, and then I did do, like, all the peer reviews separately, but I don't think that should, I mean, they should still grade it. I just didn't put it into one document.
Yeah.
For the competency folio, when you're submitting evidence, like, are you putting the evidence and then just writing in the text box below with your explanation? Or are you attaching another like a Word document with your like reflection?
I haven't started yet.
Okay, I've only just started. I just want to make sure.
I thought about that though. I was thinking about just typing it in Word and then maybe putting it in the text box, but I didn't know how it would pop up on TaskStream. I was wanting to see what it would look like, I guess.
You know, because you can attach the evidence and then just write in that text box is what I was thinking, but I don't know if that's right.
Either.
And then my last thing was, do you, like, after you finish one, do you request comment on that one, or do you do it all and then like share it to them as a whole thing?
I would think all of them and then share it.
Okay.
That's
So are you just taking an excerpt from each artifact that shows that competency?
No, you're taking like what, like, let's say you take like assignment 8 or something you've done like that you wanted to use. You attach that whole thing and then you write a little like reflection or paragraph. I was told extended paragraph. That means like one decent sized paragraph about why that evidence fits in that competency.
Okay. See, I got confused. I thought somewhere it said something about take a part of the artifact and put it in there. not the whole thing, but
No, it's
Where it shows them, right? Because you use some of those competencies in your artifacts. He was just telling you which ones that it should have shown it in. Because at the top of Task Stream, it says like
yeah.
artifacts 4 and 5, but there's no artifact 5 or 6. There's some that say 6.
Well, we haven't done that yet. I mean, there will be when we're done. That's why it's there. We've only done artifact 1. So that one we did is artifact 1. If you look at the sheet you should have got, like at my first meeting I had with my clinical coach, it lays them out. There's 6 of them total. So that's why it's on there. So like as we go forward, it's kind of, I think those might be like suggestions / like you need to have artifact 1 in that competency somewhere. You need to have like, so you can pick whatever you want to use in it. I think it's just saying somewhere in there you got to have that artifact, and then some of them say you have like a choice.
Okay.
But you don't use all of artifact 1. You just use like an excerpt of it, like you said.
Right. You just take a piece of something from artifact 1. Basically, he said you can take a Zoom link. You can just take this and put that in there and then put a little paragraph about why it fits. As long as you can make it fit, the email he sent me, if you can make it fit with your extended paragraph, like you can make a case for it, he won't argue it if it's right.
Okay.
So the paragraph, the way you write it, honestly, is more important.
Yeah, I think I would feel better about attaching it. I don't know. I guess you could put it in the comment box. I just wonder what they look like how it uploads.
Right.
Great question. So I asked it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
All right. That makes you feel better.
Hope you guys get your things back soon. That's weird. I guess we had different people doing them. I don't know. I thought it was my clinical code.
No, yeah, it's not. Yeah, whatever. I'll figure it out. I was just wondering. That makes sense. I'm sure I probably did something wrong when I submitted it. Okay, well, we don't got to meet again until 5. That's 14, week 14.
All right.
Yeah, what is it, week after next?
I think so, yeah.
Then you have till that Saturday to get it done. So
Okay. So anytime that next week, we're good.
we got some time.
Yep.
You guys have a good Thanksgiving break. I'll send you this link soon.
All right.
Thank you, too.